Most men beg for attention. They chase, they explain, they perform, and they lose before they even start. You're about to learn the quiet art of making her chase without ever looking like you moved a muscle. This isn't about tricks. This is about power disguised as calm, desire disguised as indifference, control disguised as freedom. Once you understand what I'm about to show you, no woman, no matter how beautiful, how successful, how independent, will ever feel neutral around you again. Welcome to the version of the game they'll never teach you out loud. Breathe in. The rules just changed. He would never admit this out loud, but every woman carries a hidden weak point deep inside. Buried beneath the confidence and independence, a soft trigger that, when touched, cracks her entire defense and makes her chase you without even understanding why. Machiavelli warned us long ago, whoever controls perception controls desire. And what you're about to master is exactly that. This isn't magic. This isn't luck. This is strategy, so clean, so subtle, so devastatingly effective it almost feels illegal. After this, you will never see the game the same way again. No matter how strong she is, every woman carries a silent trigger inside her, a quiet response that only awakens in the presence of a man who truly understands three things: presence, mystery, intent. It has nothing to do with looks, money, or clever lines. It's about understanding a woman's emotional architecture, the way Machiavelli understood the human mind. Once you grasp this mechanism, seduction becomes effortless. Everything flows naturally. She believes it was her choice, and in a way it was. You merely directed the perception. That's when the real game begins. Quiet, subtle, calculated, yet always elegant. First rule: women are not attracted to what is blatantly available. What is blatantly available is predictable, and predictable is boring. What captivates a woman is the feeling of standing in front of a man who sees more, knows more, and moves slower than everyone else. Machiavelli warned that urgency kills power, because urgency exposes need. So you never show hunger. You never show desperation. You never seek validation. You act as if you already possess what you want, and that alone makes her wonder what your secret is. The kind of seduction that feels illegal begins with microdetails. A gaze held 1 second longer, a silent half mile, the calm of a man who isn't afraid of silence. Women read these things with a sensitivity most men will never notice. They feel how you breathe, how you stand, how you occupy space. It's not your words that seduce her. It's your presence. Ordinary men, insecure men, overcompensate. They talk too much. They explain too much. They compliment too much. Overcompensation reveals emptiness. Machiavelli taught that the man who reveals too much kills mystery, and mystery is the heartbeat of seduction. Something hard to solve becomes impossible to ignore. You never tell your full story. You give fragments, chapters without endings, clues without explanations. She fills the blanks with her imagination, and imagination always works in your favor. Real seduction is not an intellectual battle. It's guiding her emotional rhythm without forcing it, hard enough to keep the flame alive, gentle enough not to extinguish it. The secret is making everything appear spontaneous. You plant seeds, you let silence grow them. By the time she realizes what's happening, she's already invested. And it all starts with your energy, not mystical energy, behavioral energy. If you enter tense, she locks up. If you enter insecure, she pulls back. But if you enter calm and certain, her entire inner world reorganizes itself to understand you. Curiosity is the spark. Curiosity is the door. Once she's curious, the rest almost opens by itself. Women are not attracted to demonstrated value. They are attracted to perceived value, the effortless confidence you radiate without trying. It shows in how you handle pressure, how you speak, how you never seek reassurance. These micro, signals, multiply your presence. She can't label why you feel different, but she feels it, and that's enough. Seduction becomes inevitable in the gap between conscious and subconscious. You touch psychological levels beyond language. Suddenly, she fixes her posture, looks toward you, asks subtle questions, tries to get your attention. That is power, the quiet kind. When she feels you control the tempo, she willingly falls into your rhythm. But you remain unattached. You could walk away at any moment. And because you can walk away, she wants you to stay. Human nature values what it might lose. Women feel this more deeply. Machiavellian seduction begins where ordinary men fail in the subtleties. Women don't fall for intensity, they fall for layers, slow, overlapping, delicate, almost invisible layers, until she can no longer detach herself. The secret is not to impress her. The secret is to reshape how she sees you. You do it like this. Emotional safety, you become the one place in her life where she doesn't have to perform. Everyone wants something from her. You want nothing, immediately. That makes her defenseless. Controlled unpredictability, you're present, but never predictable. Available, but never too available. You have a life. She feels it and adjusts to your rhythm. Selective attention, your compliments are rare but deliberate. They hit deeper because they prove you truly see her. Emotional control, she will always test you, not to disrespect you, but to measure your inner strength. Every calm, witty, unshakable response pulls her deeper. Calibrated physical presence slightly closer than normal. A slower gaze, light, incidental touch, never rushed, never needy, felt intent, never force. This is where seduction becomes dangerous. You didn't do anything extreme. You didn't do anything obvious. You simply became the man whose presence she still feels long after you're gone. She thinks about you during the day. She notices your absence. She checks your online activity. She rereads your messages. She tests you harder. And the truth is, she's only testing what she's afraid to lose. Your calm energy soothes her. Your attention excites her. Your absence unsettles her. Your presence affects her. Your perception makes her feel seen in ways she never expected. At that exact moment, she starts hiding how much she cares. But her eyes betray her. Her voice betrays her. Her reactions betray her. When she starts orbiting emotionally, seduction reaches its most powerful level. You're no longer a man. You're an atmosphere. She can't compare you to anyone else, because no one else occupies her mind like this. This is when you remain the most elegant, the most patient, the most calm. Desire must never feel forced. It must feel natural, inevitable. When her desire grows, you slightly reduce your presence, not to punish, to create emotional space. That space fills with thoughts of you. Thoughts turn into longing. Strategic absence is more seductive than aggressive presence. Then you deepen the connection, not with basic questions, with questions that uncover who she is beneath the role she plays. You touch layers no one else reaches. Vulnerability turns into attachment. Attachment turns into desire. You keep the emotional tone subtle, voice, timing, proximity, the way you look at her lips 1 second too long. No rush, no pressure, only controlled tension. Tension, she breathes like air. Then the shift comes, she cares, she gets lightly jealous, she monitors your availability, she imagines competition. That means you've become a psychological priority. You respond with balanced honesty. Options are implied, never stated. She feels she could lose you, yet feels chosen. That duality multiplies desire. Her messages get longer. Her responses come faster. Her curiosity deepens. Her investment becomes obvious. And through all of it, you stay steady. You don't speed up. You don't panic. You don't cling. Your value is constant. That constancy is rare. She starts trusting what you make her feel. She starts wanting your presence more than she understands. She starts missing you in ways she can't explain. And that is the essence of Machiavellian seduction. She chooses you, but she believes the choice was entirely hers. She's already orbiting. The seed has cracked open inside her chest, and she doesn't even know its name yet. Most men smell blood in the water and lunge. That's how they drown. You don't lunge. You disappear. Not out of fear, out of precision. The moment the temperature is highest, right after the laugh that made her stomach flip, right after the kiss she leaned into first, you vanish. No explanation. No good. Night text. Nothing. 24, 48, sometimes 72 hours of pure vacuum. She will replay that peak moment on a loop until the silence feels louder than any word you could have sent. That ache is the drug. That unanswered "why did he leave right then" is the hook buried too deep to pull out. When you return warmer, but only slightly, and only because she earned it. A reply that took 3 days suddenly lands in 3 minutes after she finally says something real, something vulnerable. She feels the shift in temperature like a hand around her throat. She learns fast. Mediocrity gets the cold. Brilliance gets the fire. Jealousy is no longer an accident. It's a scalpel, a female name that slips once and is never spoken again. A notification you silence without looking while she watches. A half-told story about someone who needed me last night. You never accuse, never brag. You simply remind the animal part of her brain that what she has is borrowed, not owned. The sting she feels is small, sharp, and perfectly dosed. Enough to make her fight, not enough to make her run. Push and pull stop being techniques. They become weather. You are the storm and the calm in the same breath. She leans in, you vanish. She melts, you freeze. Each cycle stretches her emotional range a little wider until she's living for the moment you decide to touch her again. You stop seducing the woman she shows the world. You start speaking straight to the girl she hides when the lights are off. Soft, low, lethal. You're not nearly as cold as you want everyone to believe. I felt you relax the second I took control. You pretend chaos doesn't scare you, but your body just told me the truth. These aren't compliments. They're violations of the highest order. You looked straight through every layer she spent years building and named what you saw. Now she's naked in a way clothes have nothing to do with, and you're the only one who has ever seen her like this. When you finally touch her, really touch her, you move like you've done it 1,000 times before, in dreams she hasn't had yet. Slow, certain, ancient, one hand on the small of her back, guiding her through a doorway, as if you've been guiding her for lifetimes. A thumb brushing her lower lip mid-sentence while your eyes stay locked, claiming what was already yours before she walked in the room. She will feel it in her marrow. This isn't exploration. This is remembrance. The night she says, "I don't usually do this," or "I'm not looking for anything serious," you smile once, almost tender, and answer, "Good, because I don't do usual, and I'm not looking. I already found." Then you kiss her before the sentence finishes echoing in her skull. Let the contradiction detonate inside her nervous system. She will spend the next weeks trying to solve how she ended up here, when every rule she had swore this would never happen. That confusion is surrender wearing the mask of choice. And the darkest truth of all, she won't leave. She can't. Ordinary men will feel like static after you. She'll rewrite her boundaries, her beliefs, her entire past just to keep the version of herself that only wakes up when you're in the room. She'll call it love. You'll know what it really is. Ownership, quiet, clean, complete, and you never even raised your voice. And when it's over, when she's the one sending the second text, when she's rearranging her week just to see you again, when she whispers your name like it's a secret she's scared to lose, remember this moment. You didn't force anything. You didn't beg. You didn't even ask. You just became the one thing she can't unfeel. That's not seduction. That's domination with a smile. Now close this video and go make her wonder why she can't stop thinking about you. The game is yours. Don't waste it.